Today I'd like to talk to you about love. I was reading this morning earlier from John chapter 15 where Jesus says this is my commandment, love each other in the same way I have loved you. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I'm reminded of a cartoon with Charlie Brown and Lucy, and Charlie Brown is opening a psychiatrist's booth, and Lucy comes along and says, "You can't be a doctor, you don't love mankind." And Charlie Brown says, "I do so love mankind, it's people that I can't stand." Well, the truth is, if we're going to love at all, we will need to love people with sharp edges. Because all of us, even people who have been redeemed, who know Jesus, are still suffering from this disease called a curvature of the soul. If we say that we will love only so far as you don't cross me or wrong me or say something I don't like, then we won't be able to love at all. There's a plaque that hangs in our kitchen just above the window. It says that people need love the most when they deserve it the least. And I think my wife hung it there. She might have been thinking about me when she hung it. But it is so true that people need love the most when they deserve it the least. And if we're going to live in community and love people, we will need to love people with all of their sharp edges. We'll need to love them when they say things that we don't like and do things that we're not particularly fond of. And Jesus calls us to love as he has loved us. So here's what I'd like you to think about today. Perhaps this week already there have been one or two people at your office or at the workplace, maybe it's a neighbor, friend, family member, someone that's really hard to love today because of something they've done or something they've said. What would it look like to go out of your way to love them when they deserve it the least? What would that look like for you to let love conquer? There's a pastor, he's now gone to be with the Lord. His name was Eamon Anderson, pastor up in Door County for many, many years. And toward the end of his life, I asked Eamon, what's the one lesson you could teach a younger pastor like me about church? And he pointed his finger at me, and it was a long finger, and he said, love your people. And that was it. Just love your people. I think it was the best thing he could have said to me at that time, because it's true in many ways that love conquers all. So be a loving person today, especially with that someone who's been irritating you. Let love conquer.